Happy Easter, everyone! I hope you're having an excellent Sunday. For decades, people have taken this day to celebrate family, joy, and of course, the resurrection. And even in this time of quarantine, it's important that we do not lose our holiday spirit, the spirit that keeps us whole. And since we can't really gather in a time like this, there are always other ways to celebrate that tradition. That's right. TV specials. Let's turn it on to see what we can find. Beasterday, Here Comes Peter Cottontail, also known as The Beaster Bunny, is a 2014 film directed by John Backus, or as this movie calls, the Snig Brothers. Doing some research, I found these other titles under John's repertoire, involving Raw Avengers, Spider Babe, and Circle of Fury. When I looked into these titles, I found that John has a history of directing erotic material, pornography. So, I guess you can see what type of film we're about to get into. So we start the film with, of course, opening credits showing off a few placed Easter eggs. Some of these eggs, of course, are recycled throughout this shot, which brings us to our first awkward wedding scene. Now, all things considered, this first scene actually isn't too bad, and I'm not a huge big fan of weddings myself, but I don't think I'd say anything like this.
I knew this day would come. I knew my dad would eventually divorce my mom and get remarried because he's a scumbag. I just saw Mom last week. I saw her at the Days Inn. She's doing just fine. Hope you'd be happy about that.
This character then leaves the wedding and is mysteriously attacked. You see what we're working with here. So then the movie jumps to introduce us to its new character, Doug. The actor does just about the best he can to make his character unlikable. He puts things into his pants and he thrusts into the camera. He pretty much acts as if he never made any other acting choices after getting the role initially. And after all of these A+ character introductions, we finally get to move to our first victim, and we get our first real look at the Beaster Bunny. Are they serious? Is this real life? This is the best they could do? What am I looking at here? After that Oscar-winning sequence, we then get brought to the dog catching company that Doug works for. In this scene, we have his boss showing off who the top 3 employees of the month are going to be. This scene, albeit not too bad, is really strange only because the audio seems a bit off. It's almost you can tell that the microphones weren't set right.
We got 3 positions, third, second, first.
Everybody sounds kind of hazy, and then the boss, this older gentleman, maybe it's just me, but it comes off that his line delivery, it seems like he forgot his line and they just kept the scene in. So then now we're introduced to another new female character who's going to be another victim of the Beaster Bunny. And it's at this point that I would like to point out this movie's pattern. We have a random scene filled with characters, and then a random woman. Then you get a new location with some random new characters, and then another random woman. I don't understand what this movie's trying to be, or what the point is, or where these people, I don't know where they're finding these women to play these characters. So after all of that mess, then we get introduced to who my least favorite character in this movie is. The mayor. He doesn't shut down any events, even though there's a giant monster on the loose. I will say about a plus in this movie is that it does seem that a lot of the actors were having fun at least shooting this. Like, for instance, I may not like this character, but the actor does the best he can to try to make somebody break every scene he's in. We skip a bit, and then we see that Brenda, the actress, is still looking for a job. She ends up getting a job at the dog catching company because plot. Now, I already made it clear that this movie has tons of meaningless scenes filled with characters that we don't have names or motivations, but I have to mention this construction worker scene. We get zero information about this beast or what it does or what its motivation is, but apparently 2 construction workers are told to get rid of a giant egg that was found in the middle of the forest. The implication is that the rabbit laid this egg. And there's nothing, I can't justify this scene, just witness what I saw here.
I guess this is karma for all those chocolate rabbits I ate as a kid.
After that, we get another scene where apparently one of the dog catchers is attacked by the Beaster Bunny, which in this film is technically the first time we've had the monster interact with somewhat of a main character. So with so many people dead, Doug finally loses it and does the best he can to warn everybody of the impending doom coming to them. So with Doug gone, that means there's nobody to warn them about the monster. Everybody celebrates in town, and then when the monster finally comes, we get this absolutely perfect line delivery from Brenda.
Rabbit!
Yeah.
Rabbit!
The monster causes terror and rambunctiousness. We're not even going to talk about how horrible these effects are, but there is one that really got me. The mayor of this movie gets killed. The rabbit jumps, crushes him, and he turns into a peace sign? During all this horror, Brenda finally escapes and runs back to her home to find her parents having bacon sex. Anyway, she finds a shotgun and decides that she's gonna go rescue Doug so they can both take down the monster. They do so successfully, and then we get this amazing final line of the movie. This film is atrocious. The acting is bad, and so of course is the writing. But what I will say is, they made something out of it. There may not be a real big message to this movie, but there is one that I found. If you're creative and you have an idea, make something out of it. Because I may not know this director, and he may be a certified supervillain, but I still know his name now, and I've seen his work. So I say this to encourage you now. In downtimes like this, it's important to do the best we can to stay passionate and creative. Thank you for watching.